Shanti, and very good morning to all of you. Very warm welcome to today's session. Very warm welcome, Brother Prakash. And over to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's just take a few moments to ease the body. Ease the mind, being the present completely. 100% acceptance. Being grateful for whatever we have. Becoming fully soul conscious so that my awareness shifts from the body to the spirit. And with that same sense of gratitude, I connect with the Supreme. I stay in his company for a few moments. And then I return, and I'm all set to start. So, very good morning, and happy here to share with you some of the most deepest secrets of the knowledge, and through the advanced course, of course. We did see last that time is cyclic, and it follows a certain pattern, just like the seasons, the 4 seasons. We'll have the spring, followed by the summer, then we have the autumn, and then winter. And then again, after winter, the good news is we have the spring, and that follows by the summer again. And so we saw those ages. We've got the golden age, silver, copper, iron. And then we have a confluence age between the iron age. And then that ushers in a beautiful, pure, new golden age once again. And that's a cycle that keeps continuing to go. So we also have heard in mythologically, that there is a tree which we call the wish fulfilling tree, and it's called also the kalpa vriksh. That if we could go and sit under that kalpa vriksh, then and make any wish there, it'll all come true. It'll be fulfilled, and whatever desires I might have, I can just sit under the tree, create the desire, and then I'll achieve. I'll get what I want. So what we are learning is that if that was true, then I don't have to travel far and wide. I don't have to take care of doing things myself. If I need something, just go under the tree, sit there, make a wish, and I'll get it. Whilst we shouldn't be taking that at a very, let's say, in a virtual way. It's not necessarily true with that actual tree which we've seen around, calling that the kalpa vriksha, thinking that that's where we would usually get all our wishes come true. But there is some significance behind the creation of such a tale. And that speaks about the real kalpa vriksha, which is if I really understand the cyclic patterns of time, and if I have the wisdom to know how everything emerged from the seed, grew up, and reached a stage where we have a good view of all the branches, of the fruits, the leaves, then if we understand that, then every desire that we might have inside can be fulfilled by the knowledge and the understanding of this tree. And so today we're going to actually learn this aspects of the wish fulfilling tree. So let's reveal that. I have a small picture here I'd like to show you as we go forward. So this is the kalpa vriksh, the kalpa tree. And understanding this tree is where we will receive a good amount of our desires and wishes coming true. So what is this tree about, really? It's about the kalpa, it's about this world, it's about our world, it's about the history and also to a large extent the geography of where we are. And it's the unlimited history. It's a history that has no limit. It's eternal. So let's start from the seed of the tree. If you see the seed part, which is very much, we can use, yes. So that's the seed, right? You see, this is the seed right in the center of the tree, where you see the pointer right now. Now, the seed of the human genealogical tree. So the kalpa vriksha is also the human genealogical tree. So it shows us the entire tree in terms of how it emerged, what's its whole genesis. And so the start of this tree was the seed. It's from the seed that the tree emerges. And so the seed is usually not visible, but the seed has full knowledge of the tree. If it were any tree, if we see in the world today, if we were to be able to speak to that seed, and if the seed was having the ability to talk to us, it'll tell us how old the tree was. It'll tell us what really transpired from that time until now, and how each branch emerged. And it'll tell us everything about each of those branches, how old they were, when did they start, and then how many sub branches do we have in each of the branches. And so similarly, the Supreme Soul is the seed of this human genealogical tree. And therefore the human tree is well known to the Supreme, and he has got complete knowledge of this, which is why we call the Supreme Soul omniscient, the one who knows everything. So let's look at the emergence of the tree, and that's this part. It's called Sat Yug, 1,250 years, which is the most strongest part of the tree, ground up, which is the trunk of the tree. The beginning part of the trunk of the tree connected just to the floor, the ground. Very, very steady, very strong, broad. And this signifies this golden age. So that's like the golden age of the tree. The oldest part also to a large extent. And also the strongest, solid. No branches, no disconnections, nothing. Closest to the ground. And so, like we know, the golden age is the strongest part in terms of our purity, values, the character of a human being. We were all called deities, divine beings. That's how we were. And that's what this whole golden age is about for us. And then time passes by and we move forward and we go ahead another 1,250 years, Treta Yuga, the silver age. So here we had the golden age, which is called heaven, paradise, Swarg, Satyug, Treta, Krita Yuga. It was called Krita Yuga. Is also another term given to Satyug. El Dorado, Atlantis, Garden of Eden, all these names are here. And this place is called semi-Swarg. It is also very much similar because if you see it's a very strong part, it is a part of the trunk and no branches, no divisions, and people have got and retained the character. Everything goes as it was before. So in this place also, there's a huge amount of joy and happiness and peace and love, just as there was in the golden age. People here too were always wanting to give, share, contribute. They wouldn't want to take because there was abundance even in this particular time. Population in both these times was also not too much. Say the population in Satyug was barely 900,000. That is 9 lakh people were there in this particular age. But that is not the case now, right? As we see, time goes by and slowly but steadily we start moving upwards here. So there's a big shift and transition from here into here. When you go from Treta to Dwapar, there is a very interesting change that takes place, which is very visible from the tree. What's the biggest change that we see from Treta and Dwapar? The biggest change you see is that in Dwapar Yuga, there is branches. Branches start emerging. And once the branches start emerging, there is a lot of weakness in the tree. The tree becomes weak. It's no longer the strong tree like we had in the trunk time of Satyuga and Treta. There is weaknesses in the sense that branches start emerging. And so on the left-hand side is the first branch that takes place. That speaks about the Islami Dharam, Vansh. This is a time when the Islamic era started. And the prophet over here is Prophet Abraham. And at the same time, probably after about 250 years, on the eastern side, on the right, we see that we had the Buddha Dharam that starts off. Buddha Dharam, and that's the era of Buddhism on the right-hand side. Now, what you need to see a significant point over here is when each of these branches start, they start off in the golden age. That's a very pure time. And they move into the silver age. This is also quite pure, but a little bit less than before. And then within those main branches, there are sub-branches. So this is the copper age, and they also get into the iron age and they become dark. And so is it with Buddhism as well. Here it starts off with golden, And after many years, it's in the silver, and then it goes into copper, and then Iron Age starts here. And so that's a very significant way to actually see how the branches start. So first we have the Islam Dharam, then we have Buddhism that starts here. And then just about that, which is the Christianity that starts off here. And here we have Shankaracharya's Dharam that starts off, which is a Sannyas Dharam. And then on the left over here, you have also the Muslim Dharam, which starts by Prophet Muhammad. So all the prophets come here and here initially, and they start off their own religions. And that is a very important part for us to know and to start understanding. So let's quickly see what also is happening during the same time to the main trunk of the tree. At the trunk, you can see it shows Dwapar Yuga. And in the Dwapar Yuga, you can see a lot of images. We can see the Shiva Linga. We can see temples. And so what's happening here is there is a significant part of the main human beings and the souls over here that start getting into these branches. But there is a good portion that continue to stay with the same lineage. But what they do is they start having to worship. Whom do they worship? They first start off worshipping the soul in the form of light as Jyotirlingam, but then they also start worshipping. So in this age, which you speak about as the golden age, you have Lakshmi and Narayan. In their childhood days, it was Krishna and Radha, and they were souls that were on this earth, and like all of us, they were deities. But they were very pure. And so we start worshipping the deities here. We start building temples of them. So we are no other than our own ancestors are being also worshipped over here. And so that's the copper age, because there is a degradation from who we truly were ourselves, as we were worship worthy at one point in time. And now we start worshipping our own selves, our images. We were puja. Puja was the ones who are worshipped at one point in time. And now we become pujaris, from puja to pujari. So there has been a shift. So we moved from this most purest place to slightly impurity. And so that's why we are in the copper age here. And then, of course, there are many who feel what is happening really. There's a lot of pain, lots of suffering, lots of sorrow. Worship starts, different branches start. And so things really, we think, are going to improve with all those messengers coming in and teaching us some very beautiful things in life, to love each other, to fulfill our responsibilities with ourselves and with the Supreme, to abide by the laws. They brought in a lot of dharmic principles, a lot of laws, but unfortunately, we were not able to follow those, and we slipped into the Kali Yuga. So you can see how the trunk is tapering towards the top, and therefore it shows how it is becoming weaker and weaker as we go towards the top. And then Kali Yuga, we have many different religions that start here, different gurus that come here and start a lot of other practices. One significant one was Guru Nanak, who started off the Sikh Dharam. And so that was a very strong one about 500 years ago from now. But that's what started off there. And we see that although we had all the other religions, all religions go into their the Iron Age, and there is more and more darkness. We saw yesterday, ignorance equals darkness equals body consciousness. And so huge amount of body consciousness starts off in this place. That's the main reason why suffering reached its peak, because body consciousness was at its peak. But the good news is, just as we saw in the Kalpa Vriksha, when we reach the end, which is the Iron Age, when we have reached the Iron Age, here, this is also going to emerge the copper age. And so over here we see standing is Brahma. Brahma is signified as the one who's the creator of the new world. So, and if you see, Brahma is standing over here at the end of the Kali Yuga, where he is being the instrument of the Supreme Soul, Shiv Baba, in creating through the right knowledge, converting us from being body conscious to soul conscious. And by doing so, changing the world from Kali Yuga to Satyuga. Because once we are all soul conscious, and that's the sanskars we carry with us, then we become no less than deities. So that's this thing happening. That's why we say that the Supreme Soul does the creation through Brahma. Brahma Dwara Sthapana. And so when he's creating the world, there is. Now, how does he do this? If we understand, it is the end of the tree at this point in time, because now the tree become very old, it's become very feeble, it's almost ready to now fall off and die. But the good thing is that just next to the seed, we also have the roots. So there's a connection between the roots and the end of the tree. Because just as we see, when there's an end of the tree, it starts a new beginning. And the new beginning is signified by the seed, but also the roots, because the roots come first and then comes the whole tree. What are the roots? Can we see a lot of people sitting over here in meditation by the roots? And we see that there is Brahma sitting over here. And the same person is standing on the top here. But we also see the same person sitting down just under the ground with all the roots feeding into the seed and being fed by the seed. And so we see Brahma here, and next to Brahma, we also see Saraswati sitting down. What is the significance of this? So it speaks about the confluence age. Confluence is the merging of old and new, darkness with light. And so that's why this is the merging of the new tree with the old tree. Here's the old tree, the end of the old tree, and there's a beginning of the new tree that will happen. At this time, for the first time, human souls get to understand who the Supreme is, and they're sitting in yoga where they're connecting to their selves as souls and to the Supreme Soul. And with that, they are able to clearly benefit and create the new world. Old world is finishing, and there's a new world being emerged. That is called the confluence age. And that is what is signified in the Kalpa Vriksha. So this is a very simple way of trying to understand the unlimited history and geography of the world that we are in. What is a geography? Unlimited geography is simple. If you see, this is Golden Age, Satyug, was Bharat, India. So the entire world, which was Satyug, in the entire globe, if there was one place that was there, there wasn't different countries, there wasn't different borders, different presidents and prime ministers. There was only one place called Bharat. They were the ones who were ruling this world. And the ruling was all, of course, with love, peace, and virtues. That was how the whole kingdom was. And it was Bharat itself. It's only after Dwapar that we start seeing us going into different parts of the world, the western side, the eastern side, and a lot of life started growing into these places. But otherwise, it was all Bharat. Although at that point in time, Bharat was not limited to the geographical area we see today. Bharat had widespread towards lots of other areas as well, which are right now the borders of Bharat. But that was all Bharat. There was one nation, one land, one country, although we didn't call it a country by itself because there was no other country. It was simply one place. It was called Swarg. It was called heaven. And so that's the unlimited geography that we are learning, how we move then from there into so many other places, which is why the culture in India is considered to be the oldest culture in the world. Why? Because of this, what we learn from the Kalp Vriksha, that this was what was the world to start with. There was no other place. But later on, everything else emerged, and we started seeing borders and we started having separations. And so that's how the whole world moved. So there's a lot of good learning through the Kalpa Vriksha. And when we see the Kalpa Vriksha, just have a look at it for a moment. What is my role? What is my role? And how can I maximize the benefit from this role? Just as we learned in the mythology that by sitting under the Kalpa tree, all my wishes will be fulfilled. So true. When I sit under this Kalpa tree, which is by understanding and having the knowledge of the Kalpa Vriksha, as we can see it in front of us. And then if I come and sit down here, which means with full awareness that I'm sitting with the Supreme Soul, who is the creator of the new world. And right now, by connecting with the Supreme, I am purifying myself. And I'm creating vibrations in a way that I'm purifying so many other people. And so I am now being instrumental in creating this new world. And I'm also sitting right now and I'm connected to the old world. And whatever right now is happening, I am creating beautiful vibrations of peace, love, purity, and power. And it is reaching the entire tree. All the souls who are in the tree are able to receive my sustenance. Whilst I am receiving sustenance from the Supreme, I'm also sharing that with the entire tree. So the roots are able to pass all the nutritions to every part of the tree. So I am sitting by the branch, by the roots, close to the seed, being sustained by the seed, and I'm strengthening the tree. And so in so doing, I'm able to see how this tree is being transformed from the older one to a brand new tree. And we all will start once again from Satyug, then go on to Treta, Dwapar, Kali. And that cycle will keep on continuing. And how does my wish come true when I sit in the bottom of the tree and I remember this tree? All my desires. So usually we have desires to do with, of course, the mind. We want to have a peaceful mind, a calm and composed mind, a mind that is free from vices of anger, greed, ego, attachment. That's a desire. That's a very big desire. That's the very big desire we have. Usually the first desire. Then we like to have a very nice, beautiful physical body, a physical body that's fit. 3, we like to have abundance of wealth. Usually that's a desire, abundance of wealth, physical wealth, mental wealth, spiritual wealth. And lastly, we want to have beautiful relationships, harmonious relationships, united in all our ways of relating to each other. So these desires, if you see, by sitting over here under the Kalpa tree at the roots, we are now sustaining the new world. And because of sustaining the new world, the first to transform us, all of us, we become the deities. And therefore, as the new tree emerges, we are the people who are part of Satyuga. And we become part of the Treta Yuga. And so here, from Satyuga to Treta Yuga, if you see, we have different births, right? There are 8 births we take in Satyuga, 12 births we take in Treta Yuga. So how many births is that? 20 births. And then we go on and take so many different births in Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. They say in Dwapar Yuga, you have 21 births. And Kali Yuga is 42 births. So that's a total of 83 births. And then Sangam Yuga, the last what you see right now, confluence age, is one birth. And this is a birth when we have actually found God. The Supreme Soul has come and introduced himself to us. And he uses Brahma as the instrument. So through the body of Brahma, he comes and introduces himself. And we will see tomorrow this beautiful, nice story of how the Supreme takes the body of Brahma and starts this whole wonderful journey of creation of the new world. So Sangam Yuga is the time now, which is one birth, which is most auspicious. There are births that we take in Dwapar and Kali Yuga, which are little less significant compared to this birth that we have right now, and the 20 births that we have in Satyuga and Treta Yuga together. So Satyuga, Treta Yuga, 20 births, and now one birth in confluence, 21 births. So by just sitting underneath the Kalpa tree, I am assured of all wealth, of all spiritual health and physical beauty, and also, not to forget, wealth and relationships. Everything is guaranteed to me for 21 births. And in 21 births, I have everything available in abundance, and there's only happiness and joy. That's the assurance of just sitting under the Kalpa tree. When I sit there, I'm close to the seed of the tree. I'm connected to the seed of the tree. And I automatically am able to serve every soul of this tree. All my wishes are now fulfilled. Every desire, the slightest, the smallest desire that I would have had is going to be fulfilled for 21 births. That's a lot of fulfillment. Yeah, so let me invite you to sit under the tree right now and let's have an experience of sitting under the Kalpa tree. So take a few deep breaths in and out to relax your body. I want you to now visualize the whole world in terms of its history and geography in the form of a Kalpa tree, where you have the roots, the seed, the trunk, the branches, and the leaves, and the shoots, and all the sub parts of the tree. The whole tree is there. That signifies the various aspects of the yugas, the time that we went by. And you are sitting just below the tree now, and you have full awareness and knowledge of the tree. And you know the tree is now in a most poor state. The tree has reached the end stage. The last part of Kali Yuga is taking place of this tree. It's gone really old, become very weak, and all the souls of the tree are very weak. And so you sit next to the seed, the Supreme Soul, and you become as powerful as you can be. Very peaceful, just by connecting to the seed. All the energy of the seed, which is unlimited, reaches you. You become strong, peaceful, loving, unlimitedly. There are no limits, because you're drawing all the energy from the unlimited one, your energy also becomes unlimited. And now this unlimited energy, you are able to spread across the entire tree through your vibrations, through your good wishes, through your pure thoughts and feelings. This unlimited virtues and qualities of love, peace, and power that you're receiving from the Supreme, the seed, you are able to spread it to every single soul on this tree. So you will visualize the entire world. You see all the souls, how they are at the end of conference, having pain, suffering, shouting for help. And your vibrations are reaching every soul just through your thoughts. And you can feel how all the souls are receiving those vibrations. And they're feeling relieved from the pain they're going through. They have become very weak and they feel stronger through your vibrations. I am constantly connected to the Supreme, the seed, the light, Baba, my Father. And love-filled thoughts reach all the souls, my brothers. Om Shanti. Okay, thank you. So it was a very brief lesson today, but a very deep lesson about the Kalpa tree. Do you have any questions? If you do, then I might be happy. I will be happy to answer them. If there isn't, then I like to close with a nice song for all of us.
The song is not audible. Are you playing?
You can't hear the song, brother?
No, we can't hear the song.
Okay, 1 second.
Light on the horizon, off the starboard bow. Feel the spirit rising, hear the mighty shout. Oh, watch the whole creation turning inside out. He's making his will made known. The time for peace is now. Leaders at the table talking about an end to war. We need more than just moves. We gotta open up the door and let a little sunlight shine on each and every face. In the sunlight of the morning,
Okay, thank you so much. Have a beautiful morning, a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thanks a lot, brother, and thanks everyone for joining.